Maya had promised herself she wouldn't take any more last-minute babysitting jobs, especially not the kind that started after midnight. But when her phone buzzed at 12:17 a.m., she was still awake, sitting on her bed in her small apartment, scrolling mindlessly and worrying about rent. The message was from a number she didn't recognize. "Hi, this is Mrs. Keller. We got your number from a neighborhood group. Our sitter canceled. We need someone tonight. Just a few hours. $200 cash." $200 for a few hours. Maya hesitated. It was late. Too late. But the address was only 15 minutes away, in a quiet suburban area she vaguely recognized. The woman offered to send a picture of her driver's license for reassurance. She sounded calm in her texts, polite, normal. Maya told herself it would be fine. She arrived at 12:46 a.m. The Keller house sat at the end of a cul-de-sac, lights glowing warmly through the windows. It looked safe, ordinary. A two-story home with trimmed hedges and a porch light that flickered slightly in the cold. Mrs. Keller opened the door before Maya even knocked. She was pale and thin, maybe mid-30s, with tired eyes and damp hair like she'd just showered. Behind her stood a tall man who barely made eye contact. "Thank you for coming," Mrs. Keller said quickly. "Our daughter's asleep upstairs. She usually sleeps through the night." The father muttered a quiet hello and disappeared down the hallway. Something about the exchange felt rushed, not frantic, just off. Maya stepped inside. The house smelled faintly like bleach. Mrs. Keller knelt and spoke in a hushed voice. "Her name is Lila. She's 6. If she wakes up, just tell her Mommy and Daddy stepped out for a bit. We'll be back by 3. "Where are you going?" Maya asked, half joking. Mrs. Keller smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Just out." That was it. The front door closed. The deadbolt slid into place. And just like that, Maya was alone. At first, everything was quiet. She sat on the couch, scrolling on her phone, the television playing softly for background noise. The house made the usual settling sounds. Soft ticks in the walls, the hum of the refrigerator. At 1:23 a.m., she heard footsteps upstairs. Slow, light. Maya muted the TV and listened. The steps stopped. She waited, heart tapping slightly faster. Maybe Lila had woken up. She climbed the stairs carefully. The hallway light upstairs was already on. That made her pause. Mrs. Keller had told her Lila was asleep. All the lights had been off when Maya arrived. She walked to the end of the hall and gently pushed open the bedroom door. Lila was in bed, covers pulled up to her chin, eyes open, wide awake. "You're not my usual babysitter," the little girl said softly. Maya smiled. "No, I'm just helping tonight. Your parents will be back soon." Lila didn't smile back. "They shouldn't have left." Something about the way she said it made Maya's stomach tighten. "Why?" Maya asked lightly. Lila's eyes shifted toward the closet. "He doesn't like when they leave." Maya followed her gaze. The closet door was slightly open, just a crack. "Who doesn't like it?" Maya asked. Lila didn't answer. Instead, she slowly pulled the blanket over her head and turned toward the wall. Maya felt foolish for even feeling uneasy. Kids said weird things, imaginary friends, overactive imaginations. She stepped toward the closet and pulled the door open fully. Inside were tiny dresses, pink shoes, stuffed animals lined up neatly on the shelf. Nothing else. She closed it and turned off the hallway light before going back downstairs. At 1:57 a.m., the power went out. The TV cut to black. The house fell into complete silence. Maya froze. Outside, the rest of the neighborhood still had power. She could see lights glowing through the windows across the street. Only this house was dark. Her phone buzzed in her hand. Unknown number. She answered immediately. Static, then breathing. Not loud, just slow, steady breathing. "Hello?" she whispered. The line clicked dead. Her chest felt tight now. She tried Mrs. Keller's number. It went straight to voicemail. Upstairs, something slammed. Maya flinched and nearly dropped her phone. It wasn't the sound of something falling. It was a door. She grabbed her phone's flashlight and climbed the stairs again, every step feeling heavier than the last. Halfway up, she heard it, dragging, a slow, scraping sound across the wooden floor, exactly above her. Her throat went dry. "Maya?" A small voice whispered from the darkness. She stopped moving. It wasn't coming from Lila's room. It was coming from the hallway. "Maya," it repeated, but it wasn't a child's voice anymore. It was deeper. Wrong. She rushed the last few steps and shone the flashlight down the hall. Empty. The bathroom door was closed. Lila's bedroom door was open. She ran inside. The bed was empty. The window was locked. The closet door was wide open. The stuffed animals were scattered across the floor like someone had swept them aside. "Lila?" she called. No response. Then she felt it. Cold air against the back of her neck. She turned slowly. The closet was deeper than she remembered. Far deeper. The back wall seemed wrong, like it stretched farther into darkness than the house's layout should allow. Her flashlight flickered, and for a split second she saw movement in the back of the closet. Not a child, something tall, unfolding itself from the dark, its head nearly brushing the ceiling, its limbs too long, bending at angles that didn't look human. And beside it, standing perfectly still, was Lila, her face blank, her eyes fixed on Maya. "He doesn't like when they leave," Lila repeated softly. The flashlight died. Maya stumbled backward, slamming into the dresser. She scrambled for the door, her hands shaking violently. Behind her, she heard the dragging again. Closer now. Something heavy pulling itself across the floor. She bolted down the stairs in complete darkness, nearly falling, heart pounding so loud it drowned out everything else. The front door wouldn't open. The deadbolt wouldn't turn. Her phone buzzed again in her hand. Unknown number. She didn't want to answer. It rang again, and again. Finally, she looked down at the screen. This time, it wasn't just a number. It was a live video feed. From inside the house, the camera angle showed the staircase. It showed her, standing there, frozen. And at the top of the stairs, just barely visible in the darkness behind her, something tall was leaning around the corner, watching. The video glitched. Then a message appeared across the screen. "You weren't supposed to come." The breathing started again through the phone speaker, slow, patient. The power suddenly flicked back on. The house lights illuminated everything at once. The staircase was empty. No figure, no Lila. Silence. The front door unlocked with a soft click. Maya didn't wait. She ran. Neighbors later said they saw a girl sprint barefoot down the street around 2:15 a.m., screaming and crying. Police went to the Keller house that morning. No one answered. The house was empty. Completely empty. No furniture, no toys, no sign a child had ever lived there. Just dust and faint scratch marks on the upstairs hallway floor. The address Maya had been given didn't belong to anyone named Keller. In fact, records showed the house had been vacant for nearly 8 months. There was no listing in any neighborhood group, no Mrs. Keller, no Lila. The number that had texted Maya was disconnected. When police checked her call history, they found something that unsettled even them. The live video she had received wasn't streaming. It had been recorded at 12:32 a.m., 14 minutes before she even arrived at the house. Maya never babysat again. She moved out of her apartment 2 weeks later, and sometimes, late at night, her phone still lights up with a notification from an unknown number. She never opens it, but once, by accident, she saw the preview before she could look away. A dark hallway, a staircase, and at the top, something tall leaning around the corner, waiting for whoever comes after midnight.